Welcome to the Made in Monroe podcast. Our guest today is Pastor Ike Byrd III, and he has a list of achievements and things that he has done. And really, most recently, he's been appointed as Director of Community Affairs for the city of Monroe. He's also a pastor. He's also a civic leader, an award winner. So, Pastor Ike, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Colby.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to be here.
I feel like I'm in the presence of a celebrity.
No, please stop. He's up for that time.
For goodness. So I'm going to go through, I have some notes here because I don't know that I can memorize everything that you've accomplished uh, here. And so, with over 40 years of leadership, really in community focused roles, working with organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, Habitat for Humanity, and the United Way of Northeast Louisiana. My goodness. Uh,
It's been a good run. It's been a very good run. When years ago, when I first started working in community work, um, I got started with United Way. Uh, I was one of the first people to meet Janet Durden when she got to town, when she got to Monroe, and over the years we've really developed this great friendship and love for one another, and so got a chance to work with Boys and Girls Club and meet some people there years ago. Habitat for Humanity. It's just been great, but I love to serve. I love to serve people.
you're kind of serving a servant at heart, aren't you?
Well, I think that's what the Lord calls us to be.
Yeah.
And if I can do anything, I just want to be able to serve and give back to so many who've given to me.
Mhm. Well, I saw too where you were awarded the Barack Obama Award with the MLK Foundation.
Well, that was some years ago as well. And our church and what we do, feeding homeless people around the community, that's been one of our passions, and helping young children to develop into, I believe, all that they've been created to be. And sometimes they just need a little help. They need a little push or a little lift. And so through that, we were able to really minister to some kids and to some families.
So you've really kind of dedicated your life to community service and leadership. Can you tell me a bit about your journey and kind of how you got to your current role you're in today?
Well, I grew up in a small town, and really it was a village. Literally, it was a village. It's called the Village of Clayton, and so grew up there. But in that community, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and in the neighborhood where my grandmother lived, there was only her home and a couple of other homes that were in that neighborhood. But uh, I really got a chance to see people for who they are and where they are. Right next door to my grandmother, there lived a family called the Mullins, and Louise Mullen and her husband was Wesley, and they had three children, and those were my very best friends. I played with them every day, and so I didn't see people based on color.
Mm.
I just saw people based on what I felt they shared their love for us, and they did that for my grandmother, and so it was easy for me to trust. And so, and so I just grew up wanting to be the best person that I could be. I always knew perhaps that God was calling me to do something uh, I didn't want to do.
Yep. First,
I,
first,
I really didn't wanna do it, but, it was just always there, whether it be my great uncle who was a pastor, my pastor who was a pastor, they just always told me, "This is what you're going to do," and I'm like, "Oh, no." But, serving was a part of that, whether it was in the Boy Scouts, just learning how to serve other people, and so that really became a passion of mine, and I just brought that with me into adulthood. Got to college, came to school at Northeast, and, that was back in 1979,
My
a
goodness.
long time ago, and, um, and got involved on campus with campus activities, and much of what we were doing was serving other
Mm.
people, and so I fell in love with it, and that's what I wanted to do in life.
Well, and it really stems from you fell in love with it at a young age, and you decided to continue that
Absolutely.
for the rest of your life, and it's worked into a role where now you're getting to serve your community in a really a larger capacity.
It has been so rewarding. Uh, I I thank God for His grace upon me because a lot of people that I've met along this journey really showed me great favor, and for that I'm so thankful. I started working years ago at a company called Houseworks, uh, and they were right there on the corner of 18th and Louisville. There, I met some great people. From there, I went to Sunbelt Plastics. There, I met some great people. I met, Dave Cater and
Yeah.
Saul Mintz and Morris Mintz and all of those people. Met Joe Holyfield there, and so all of those people really helped me along the way into becoming who I am right now. And so it's been a wonderful journey. Uh, I've loved being here in Monroe. I tell everybody Monroe's really been good to me, you know. But I'm just thankful for that journey, Colby, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your journey is it's been an exciting journey, but I don't think it's over yet. I think you could probably even say you're only just beginning in some areas, right?
Well, been pastoring now 27 years,
Wow.
and the church where I pastor now, I can remember years ago when I was just uh, going through college. My cousin owned a pharmacy here, and so I would deliver medicine and pharmacy items, and I would ride a bike literally past that church, delivering medicine, and I look over there and say, "Oh, man, that's a nice little church over there." Never thought about it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of the ladies in that church when I was on campus at Northeast, she came out and did an article. I was singing in an event out there at Northeast, and she came out and she, uh took a picture of it, did an article on it, and I was walking across campus, and the guy stopped me and said, "Hey, man, you made the paper." I said, "Made the paper?" He said, "Yeah, you made the local paper."
Wow.
So he brought me the article, and I said, "Wow." I took it home, showed it to my mom and all of that, and, little did I know that she was a member of this church that one day I would pastor. And she ran that article 20 years later saying, "Do you remember?" And I'm like, "Wow, that was a long time
Came
ago."
full
But
circle.
yeah, and I just, see the hand of God, how He has moved me strategically in so many different areas, being a part of that church. And now 27 years later, and I love it. I love the people there. I love serving God. I love serving our community, and I'm so grateful for that. And I thank God for my family, who encourages me along the way and allows me to be able to do it,
Mhm.
spending so much time away.
Yeah. Well, as the new director of community affairs, what goals and initiatives are you most excited about, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, right now, director of the Monroe Civic Center, and just excited about being there. Uh, when asked about the Civic Center, I often respond that. After being there for a few weeks, I realized that the people and the building suffered from the same thing. And I was asked, "Well, what is that?" I said, "Well, that's neglect. The people and the building suffered from that." And so my goal has just been encouraging those workers. We've got some fantastic people that work there at the Civic Center. There is nothing that I've asked of them that they've not done. I just remember the Civic Center being the center of everything basically good that happened in our community. Everybody wanted to go to the Monroe Civic Center. I remember growing up in Clayton and seeing them advertise it on television. Monroe, oh, one day I'm going to get a chance to go to the Monroe Civic Center. And so now just to be the director of that
Wow.
facility, get to meet so many different people, just want to be able to make it viable again and vibrant so that once again, it is really the center of all activity for our community. And
Oh, and that is so true, and again, what a full circle moment that you lived in Clayton and you always hoped and wanted to get to the Civic Center, and now you're over the Civic Center, so, I feel like the Lord works in mysterious ways, right?
yeah, I thank our mayor for giving me the opportunity and trusting me with this. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity. Of course, we've got hockey that's going on there now, and we had an amazing concert with Lainey Wilson that was there, sold out 2 nights in a row, and it's been really good. And with spring market that came along the way, Fashion Fusion, and all of these different Louisiana Delta Ballet, Twin City Ballet, and all of these groups. And we've got the Miss Louisiana pageant that's going to be coming up. And so we've got a lot of great things happening there. We need some repairs, and hopefully down the road, we'll be able to see those changes, those positive changes come so that we can do what's needed.
So you just have such a deep commitment and a long history to the city of Monroe. And because of that, I'm sure the city means a lot to you. Why is it so special to you personally?
As I said, I came to Monroe as a 17-year-old fresh out of high school. I didn't know what life held for me. My dad lived in New Orleans, and so I always thought that's where my home would be. My home would be back down in New Orleans. I loved everything about New Orleans, but coming to Monroe, things just began to change focus for me. And so I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the bayou. I fell in love with Black Bayou, the Washita River. I love fishing. And so I fell in love with all of those different venues. And then I fell in love with the people here. We've got some amazing people. We've got some people that love this community. My wife, I met her here. My children are all born here. They all graduated from high school here. I've seen so many great things happen in our community, but also I've seen some opportunities for our community get better. And that's what I really want to see. I just often tell people I believe that Monroe was meant to be so much greater than what it is. When you think about companies that started here, Coca Cola, Delta, uh, Intermountain, when CenturyLink, all of those businesses that began here. I believe that it was God's design for Monroe to be so much greater than what it is now. Perhaps one of the leading metropolitan, but for some reason, because of our differences or what have you, it stunted that growth. And I just want to see our community be the best that it can be and be all that God has really designed it to be. And I believe that's happening
Right.
even right now. I believe that we have to get beyond the differences that separate us, whether that be the race, religion, or the river. We have to get beyond those things. And I just love what I see in our community. I can get anywhere I want to go in less than 10 minutes. Two of my children live in Dallas. I would not want to live there. My youngest daughter lives in the Atlanta area. I would not want to live there. I wouldn't even want to live in New Orleans
Right.
anymore. I love Monroe.
Well, I love Monroe too, and I want to go back to something that you said that the people of Monroe are great. I really think the people make Monroe.
Yes.
And that seems to be a general theme. And everybody that I sit down with, when you say what makes Monroe special, one of the things they always go back to is the people.
Yeah.
The people make you want to stay here. The people, they're fun. They love you. I mean, you see a friendly face. You're not just. I've referenced this a lot, but when you go in the grocery store, you're not just you're not just a face. Like, you actually have a name, and you know people, and you see people that you know. And so I think that's really kind of what makes our area so special is the
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think moving forward, the people will see that. I think we have great people who have great hearts and great minds. And I shared with someone not long ago, I think we all want the same thing. We just have different ways of trying to go about getting that.
Right.
And if we could all come to a place where we just understand, okay, we're different, but we all love our community. And so, because we all love our community, let's just put the differences aside.
Right.
That's why I was so happy to meet your father in law many years ago. And he and I became the best of friends because I saw that in him, that it did not matter what the color of your skin was, nor what your denomination was. We're all people that love this community and love one another. And so through the years, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I love you. You said earlier on when we were talking, you said I from a young age I didn't see color. I just loved people,
Just look,
and I love that. And I think that's how we move forward in Monroe, right? I think we just love people and we love each other. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. We just love each other.
well, I've said before that labels
Mm.
separate, and people so oftentimes become more concerned about labels than they are about people. Uh, I used to take 2 bottles of water, one bottle from Ozarka and another bottle from Nestle Pure Life. Well, when you look at the bottles are exactly the same. There's water in both of the bottles. The bottles have the same design on the out. The only thing that separate them are the
The label,
labels.
yeah.
And there are people that'll say, "Well, I don't drink Ozarka, or I don't drink Nestle Pure Life." They're the same. The only difference is the label, and that's the way it is in life. We allow labels to separate us, whether that's black, white, whether that's north side, south side, whether that's Republican, Democrat, whether that's Baptist or Church of God. Those are just labels. At the end of the day, God has made all man of one blood.
Yeah.
And if He cut us, we're all going to bleed
We're
the
the same.
same blood.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can you share a defining moment or a significant challenge in your community work that really has shaped who you are or impacted you as an individual?
Well, I think more more recently, uh, just just seeing people come together for wrong, even when they know what is right.
Mhm.
I've seen that and experienced that perhaps firsthand here last year, even with this designation that the mayor had for me to be as the director of community affairs. I saw people come together, and unfortunately, it had to happen that way
Yeah.
uh, because that's the only way you can see others for who they really are. God allows you sometimes have to suffer the meanness of people so that others can see that.
Mhm.
And so I think that has really just opened my eyes to a new level of understanding people.
Right.
Just this morning, I had to realize once again, okay, Ike, you're here for a purpose. God has strategically placed you here for a purpose. Well, what's that purpose? That my light would so shine before men that they would see my good works and glorify God. And so I have to remind myself of that occasionally, even now.
That's a good reminder for all of us, I think. I like that. I'm gonna use that. Absolutely. As we look forward to this future, what opportunities do you see for Monroe?
Well, I see greatness. I mean, with the Meta facility that's coming to Northeast Louisiana, and that's one of the things that I've always said years ago when I talked to Mayor Ellis before he became our mayor. I told Mayor Ellis that one of the things that we have to do is market outreach. And for too long, we've looked at marketing Monroe, we've marketed West Monroe. We have to market our region because if we market our region, if jobs come to Richland Parish, there are people in Ouachita Parish that are going to get some of those jobs. If jobs go to Caldwell Parish, there are people in Ouachita Parish that's going to get. And so I think as we continue to look at how we collaborate with our communities, Monroe, West Monroe, Richwood, Sterlington, Calhoun, Richland Parish, Caldwell Parish, Morehouse, as we continue to collaborate with one another, work with one another, we're going to see more opportunities. We got to think about it. We've not had anything big to happen in our community
Mm,
since General Motors left, since State Farm left. Uh, All of these companies were huge. People made a good living and a good life from these. And so we've not had anything good to happen like that uh, in all of those years. And so I see more of these opportunities coming as people begin to see what we see in our community, the good of our community, and what our community is and what our community can be. I believe that there are going to be more people to invest in our community, and I want to live long enough to be able to see where there is a coming together of community. And when we can remove those things that divide us and just focus on coming, I believe that we will really see and experience
yeah.
the greatness of what this community can be. And I'm excited about that.
Well, I think, I think of that song, We're All in This Together, because I think you can accomplish more together than you can doing your own separate little things over here and over here. When we come together, we're all really want this. We all really want the same thing, right? At the end of the day. And so, the end of the day, I think if we can see that and we have that perspective moving forward, I really think we're on the cusp of something great. Like you can feel it, you can feel the energy in the city and in the people that you talk to. And so, I do. I think for us, in a lot of ways, this is just the beginning. Like you said, Monroe was meant for greatness. And I don't think it was meant for greatness. I think it's still meant for greatness. I think in the future, it is still meant for greatness. And so I think if we can keep our eyes on that and keep that mindset and that perspective, and we can all work together, I think we'll accomplish great things.
Absolutely. I believe that, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
There is something within me that still has a great level of hope for our community, and I wake up every morning just rejoicing about that and waiting to see what great thing is going to happen next.
How do you envision your role contributing to the growth and unity of our community as we go forward?
Well, I just want to be available, Colby, however I can be to help our community to continue to prosper. Uh, Whatever is asked of me, I'm willing to do it. Uh, Wherever I can help, wherever I can serve, I'm willing to do that. I just want to be available. So if God says, I want you here now, I want to be available to be there. If God says, I want you here now,
Mm.
I want to be available to do that. And so just whatever he will call me to do next. That's what I'll do, and I know that all things happen in God's own time, and so I don't try to rush things now. I just try to be in His will, to be navigated by Him. I think water flows uh, in a direction that uh, men don't control.
Yeah.
You can't control the direction of where water is going to flow. And I just want to be in that flow. So wherever God decides to take me, that's where I
You're
want
gonna
to be.
go.
That's where I'll
Yeah.
be, and I want to serve this community uh, in whatever way I can. That makes me happy. Seeing this community prosper, that makes me happy.
Well, you sure have inspired so many with your leadership right here in our area. And so today, as we kind of close, if you were going to give one piece of advice to somebody that wants to make a meaningful difference in our community, what would it be?
So I would say serve with a heart of humility. When I first began preaching before I became a pastor, I had an older pastor to tell me, always remain humble. He said, God rewards humility. And I've never forgotten that. That was 28 years ago. And yet I've never forgotten that. And so just be ready to serve and uh, don't look down or don't despise being a servant. Because at the end of this life's journey, that's all we'll be known by. It's just being a servant.
Right. Well, and I think that's so accurate. It starts from the top and trickles down too. And I've shared with people often one of the things that I've watched my dad do really up until the last few years is I can remember at 4 o'clock every day he would come through and he was the one picking up people's trash in their offices and emptying trash cans and he was the one vacuuming the halls and so we learned that as a result of watching him, but it really started at the top. And so I think if we can all be servants, we'll leave Monroe a better place, right?
Abs You know, I share with people at the Civic Center, they'll ask me from time to time, because if I see them in need or get behind, I'll get out there and I'll help them.
Right.
And, one guy saw me, on the ground one day up underneath the, stage, and I was down there schooling. He said, "Mr. Bird, is that you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You on the ground?" I said, "Yeah, I don't have a problem with that
Mm-mm.
because, that's what servants do."
It is.
You know,
Whatever it
it's
takes.
yeah, whatever it takes to get the job done.
Mhm.
Uh, that's what we do, and so, I'm grateful. Uh, I'm thankful for, again, our mayor and his vision for this community, and I just wanna be able to support that in any way that I can, and, uh I'm thankful for our church. I'm thankful for the people who allow me to serve our community, and they don't think that's robbery, uh, that I'm serving our community and serving the church at the same time. And so I'm grateful for that as well, and grateful for my family who supports me and allows me to serve, and they continue to push me and uh, when I get down a little bit, they encourage me, and so I'm grateful for that.
Pastor Ike, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the impact you've made in our community, and we're cheering you on in your new position as you just continue to make Monroe even better than it is already.
Well, thank you so much, Colby. I'm so glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Bless you.